I just got notification.
Yeah, that's the YouTube one, so I'm not seeing the Facebook one. It should be there somewhere. There it is. I'm just blind. You know how it is.
Yep. And going to enhance everything.
Oops.
We're up on the YouTube.
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah, we busy, yo.
They echoes too. Jennifer's here. That's good.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, I like your shirt. I didn't notice it until just now.
Thank you. I had it for 3 weeks now, and I meant to wear it a couple weeks ago, and I kept on forgetting that it was hanging up in my closet. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put it next to my computer, so I won't forget.
There you go. And just swap it right then.
Yes.
It's a
Good
plan.
evening. Hey, Jen, how are you? Just waiting for a couple more peeps to come into the room.
Mhm. Double checking it went live in the right place.
Yes, it's live on Dave's page.
Exactly where it should be.
It's not even Dave.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. Indeedly, Bob. Good, we're glad to hear. Well, welcome to another week of the virtual Cantina Watch Along. My name is Spencer. I'm one of your hosts for the evening. And we got under the controls, we got Jeff. How are you, sir?
Good. Hanging in there. Waiting for the weekend as usual.
Yep. Excellent. And with us is our resident Star Wars, I would say, aficionado, Kat. How are you?
Good.
Ready for another week of crazy Andor?
Yes, sir.
It's getting kind of juicy, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it's these latest 3 episodes have been my favorite.
Yeah. I had one friend who actually wrote on my page. He's like, I thought it was so slow. I was like, dude, this one was the most enlightening episode of the season so far. You think it's slow?
Character building and all types of things going on.
Yes, and I have to say one thing, get out of the way. For those who think just because Andy Serkis is in this show, your Snoke theory sucks.
That's such a dumb theory. That's a theory.
I'm like, just get. It's fine. He's in. He can be multiple people in the Star Wars universe without it being, I mean,
there's multiple people that have done multiple characters in the Star Wars universe, both masked and unmasked.
Yep.
Especially masked, but yeah.
Hey Ashley, how are you? So lots of Star Wars stuff going on right now. First want to give props that tomorrow starts the beginning of Rhode Island Comic-Con. A lot of Star Wars guests, including Little Casa. It's gonna be his first con ever. So that'd be kind of cool to meet him over there. A lot of our favorites like Emily Swallow and Misty Rosas are going to be there. Cad Bane, the guy who does the bodysuit for Cad, Dorian, he'll be there. Friend of the group, Tate Fletcher. So he'll be there. And a whole slew of people, but very, we're all very excited. But just gearing up for that, gearing up for Andor. We just did the watch along of the Ahsoka arc of Tales the other night, which was very, very cool. So, Kat, what was your thought? We'll talk about Andor. I mean, the Dooku one next week. After we watch it, but what was your thoughts on the Ahsoka arc that we got out of Tales?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay,
I watched the Dooku arc instead today.
Okay, so what was your thoughts on the Dooku arc? I particularly thought I loved it.
I thought it was really great, especially because it gives so much more insight to the way he thinks,
Oh.
and I love that Qui-Gon intervenes the way he does, because that would have gone very badly.
Yep.
Although I find it dubious that the senator's son is going to be able to make any effective changes because he's still the guy's son. But
Right.
I love the third episode in that arc as well. That was really great, seeing him actually go in there and delete Camino from the archives. And
Yeah,
I guess that was Yaddle. And I'm like, oh, that's why they came up with, like, nobody was ever asking really why she wasn't on the council in episodes 2 and
Exactly.
3. It's just like, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, that's really cool. Which now begs the question, wonder what the cover story is for her, her death. But I liked how she just kind of got that impetus to just follow him, and made it look so easy, and she just unearthed it like that. But that was such a great arc.
It was fantastic. It was nice hearing Liam's voice and his son playing young Qui-Gon as well, which is pretty cool. Bryce Dallas Howard was awesome as Yaddle.
I kind of wish Yaddle talked more like Yoda to normalize Yoda a little bit among his speech.
Dave actually commented about that. Dave
During
Filoni.
one panel.
Yeah, he had said that Yoda, he thinks that Yoda might have gotten that voice pattern from his master. And that's why I'll explain it, that why he did his own thing.
Okay.
But
only George.
Yeah, but when that door came down, I was kind of like, ooh. And I'm like, no, she's alive. Not for long.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. That whole exchange and all the events that transpired during that scene are pretty intense.
You can't see this. You haven't watched Andor yet. What have you been doing, Jason? I mean, it's not like you've been online or anything.
What the hell?
Oh, catch up, man. You got 8 episodes to watch in the next 20 minutes.
You can just listen to us talk about it and not actually watch it.
Yes. Oh my God, can you believe that guy did that thing? Wait, he dies in the end?
Probably be a little spoilery.
Yes.
Even without watching it. But
what's up, Bryce?
You gotta catch up. It's a great show.
I'm gonna say that this is probably my favorite of the Star Wars shows that we've gotten so far.
I like a lot of it. I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know if I would be able to pick a favorite, but
I could pick one that was not my favorite.
I could probably pick Mando as my favorite. But at least well, actually all of what we've seen of Mando has been great, including episode 3.1, season 3.1.
Right.
So anyways, so it's really a great show. And I mean, they take their time with stuff, which is, makes things more, the stakes feel higher, and you get a better feel for the way these people are thinking, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so Kat, we've been talking about, I guess, since the inception of the virtual cantina, of the fact that we are ready for a dark, gritty, adult-themed Star Wars. Do you think this checks off most of the boxes, or there's some more boxes that they need to fill?
I think this one, especially this episode, checks a lot of those boxes. And it goes to saying that I think this is definitely along the lines of the tone that Gareth Edwards had wanted Rogue One to be when he first pitched it or at least revealed it to the public at Celebration Anaheim in 2015. Because this episode is just like really embracing the Empire's real life roots from the way George Lucas set it down. And so it's really nice that they're finally, doing a dive on that. And it keeps getting better every week. It's defying logic in that way.
One thing I felt was weird, different this, because we're at a third episode arc again. Essentially, I thought there was going to be more of what probably will happen in the next episode happening in this episode. but we're still leading up to things happening. But it's interesting how they kind of strayed from that for these last few episodes, where they had done it pretty like clockwork almost for the first 6, and then this whole kind of series of episodes has been a little bit more kind of stretched out, I think. But it'll be I don't know, it's going to be amazing. I think we're leading up to some stuff.
Absolutely. And from some people who have had who gets like the episodes like a week before release for reviews and stuff, they said that episode 10 is absolutely insane.
Right.
Without any spoilers.
Nice.
So I was like, okay, that works.
These last few episodes, they had jumped around more, or not jumped around, but paired off and pieced together the directors more than they had like the first few. It was like a different segment, like this one and the next one or something, where we're both directed by the same person, which would make a lot of sense considering what we've seen so far.
Which is interesting as well, because literally, I would say about an hour ago, Tony Gilroy announced the directors for season 2.
Oh, nice.
So that's already, in plans right now. So we at least know. I mean, they said we're going to do 2 seasons, so we'll see about that. Thank you, Bryce. I'll let you know your hat did come in, so I'm going to be shipping it off in next week. Also want to say that if you liked our handy dandy nifty hockey jerseys, we're doing one last print, and we are 1 hockey jersey away from guaranteeing that this is going to happen. So please, please, please order so I don't have to return money. This is the last time we're going to be doing the hockey jersey of this design. So if you want to get it, grab it now. But we'll be releasing in the next week or so the design for our 23 racer for Celebration. And as Jeff said, I think it's our best design thus far.
They seem to, if not top, at least match the ones previous, but I think this one goes a little bit beyond.
It's hard to say which is I love this one, but I think I say that with the newest one every time. So I'm always excited about the next one.
But yeah, the new one is always going to be the cool one.
Right. But yeah, so we'll look out for that as well. And also look out for on the November the 22nd, on the Tuesday, we will be having our celebration of Life Day. And we're going to have merchandise reviews of 2021 and 22 Life Day merch. We're going to watch an abridged version of the Star Wars Holiday Special, as well as hopefully anybody who is going to East and West can shoot some footage that we can piecemeal together. We'll show what Batu looks like during Life Day.
Yes. Well, they really didn't do anything. They didn't have many years to do it with, but they really didn't do anything till last year. And that was kind of last minute, and supply chain kind of shortened, or whatever you want to say. It was less than it could have been, but it was still cool. It was an interesting step on their part in terms of embracing something that's fan motivated for sure.
And they upped the ante with the merchandise for this year, at least, especially with the red Snuggie.
That I really like, except for it's like, how often am I going to wear a backwards blanket, except for kicking it on the couch and the recliner.
I know how that
plush is pretty sweet, and not the plush. The plush. I like the plush. The pop is really cool with the flocking. Yep. It's a great likeness of Chewie. He works well in that form. But
lumpy on the shirts.
Yeah, the shirt design and the hat design is lacking, in my opinion. It's very minimalist. It's almost like Lumpy drew it.
He prioritized his crayons.
It's just that it doesn't give me like as good of a vibe in terms of like legit park merchandise, licensed stuff. It gives me
Sure.
more of like, oh, somebody threw this together and put it up on TeePublic.
It gets
Somebody
taken
that
down.
has some artwork, I mean, artistic skill, but is just doing something. It kind of seems like it was rushed almost, although they've had lots of time.
Sure.
Because I was considering the hat. I think you said you had bought the hat. Somebody said they bought the
Yeah,
hat.
I bought the hat in the pop.
Yeah. And so I was like looking at the hat and I'm like, yeah, but I don't like that logo or that design on the shirt. And when it gets shrunk down onto the hat, I really don't like it. So
Yeah.
that's my feeling. I do like the Snuggie, except for the fact that it's a Snuggie. What I'm thinking of going to do is buy like a red robe somewhere and wear it, because I have a Chewbacca Snuggie. So I could wear that and then wear the robe over it. So you can
That'd
at
be
least
like going out in public in
Chewie
my
part.
Vader snuggie.
Yeah. Not
that I
anyway,
haven't done that before.
right. You've
But,
been on video doing that, so.
So, Kat, tell us what's going on with your other podcast, the non-Star Wars one.
We're still doing the Tarantino series, and we'll try and finish that in a few weeks, and then we're gonna do all the Batman stuff after that.
Very cool. Very cool. So you're gonna do just the film versions, or are you gonna try to do some of the
We're
animation?
gonna try and find the serials from the 1940s to start first, and then eventually move on to Batman 66, the movie, which will be a general discussion about the TV show anyway, because that's kind of what the 66 movie is.
Right.
It's like an extended episode of the show. And then we'll move into the Burton, Schumacher, Nolan, Snyder, and then Reeves Batman. And maybe gloss over the animated series, or look at the animated series a bit as well.
Now, which version of Justice League would you consider touching?
I've seen them both, and I don't care to really see either. I'm not going to watch the Snyder cut again. That was too long, and it was just too. I felt it was just a longer version of what I already watched, and
there's more Cyborg in it, but
yeah, I didn't really care much for Cyborg that much. And it's like, okay, there's more of you, and there's like 20 minutes of post-credit scenes for stuff that's not going to happen, and it's like, okay, this clearly isn't the movie that he would have released, but and I'll just probably watch Batman versus Superman for that.
Okay. Excellent. So I actually want to ask your opinion of the fact that DC is now run by James Gunn. What's your thoughts?
I don't know, because it's like, he likes directing movies, whereas running that feels like you need somebody who's not going to be doing that, who's going to have a handle on all the projects going on, like a Feige, like a president of the studio type thing, especially now that DC has been rebranded as its own studio.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, everything that James Gunn has done so far, he brings a lot of his trauma background to it, which, okay, we don't really need that in every DC property, but he's brought that to each of his films so far. So we'll wait and see how it is. But at least they have somebody who actually knows the comics and likes the comics in charge.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we'll definitely see how that goes.
Sean Gunn, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see a lot of him, and now, since he's now, between Black Adam, which seems to have been, people have been very happy with, and then return of, Henry Cavill. We'll see how that all goes. But I want to plug the fact we are going to be watching episode 9. Nobody's Listening tonight, which is episode 9 on your D+ machine of Andor. So please make sure you have that queued up. And this Sunday, we'll have a new episode of the Jedi Archives, which talks about the High Republic comic books. And next week, we'll have a lot of reviews of what's going on in the world of pop culture, and a review of Rhode Island Comic Con. As I mentioned, a number of our members are in the process of traveling to Rhode Island, or get into the area for con tomorrow, which is going to be a lot of fun. And that's pretty much it as far as everything going here. I mean, if you're a D+ member, as you should be at this point if you're watching our show, a lot of great reveals and releases for pre-order if you're a DC+ subscriber, such as the Obi-Wan Anakin saber set, which is just a reprint, and the dark saber is available now for pre-order, and a bunch of other stuff. But it's nice that they're actually we get something else besides all this content that we can actually get some merchandise that we're getting first dibs on. I mean, I think that's should be only right in some
Right.
capacity.
There's a lot of things that they needed to give more exclusivity to that they kind of been glossing over recently. So I think it's good. Not that I will buy anything for sure or not, but
Right. But Kat, what did you think of the new Avatar trailer?
I haven't watched the new one yet, but I did see the one that they put out in theaters like last month or whatever. It's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel there's no need for a new series of Avatar movies. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't get why we're turning that into a franchise. It's like you're kind of missed the boat on that. It's been 13 years.
Yeah. And then 3 new movies coming. It's like almost over. So James
But
Cameron,
hey,
what he wants to do, so
I mean, he could have done a sequel to Titanic.
crazy. That's one that would have been.
Well, they could have it
a
continue
prequel.
on. Well, they can have continued on from after.
And then the sequel to Titanic would have been Britannic. And that disaster.
Well, they could have it. What happens with the ghosts after they return back in Ghostbusters 2, when the Titanic finally makes it to New York City. So I don't know. That's a stretch.
Yeah, that'd be a fun movie. It would be.
You can have it start with Cheech Marin going, well, better now than there. So so evidently they started filming Acolyte, which should be I guess our first foray into the live action High Republic era.
It's gonna be interesting.
That should be interesting.
Ornate, I would imagine.
And we got a lot of good stuff. We have Mandalorian season 3 in February, and then we get Ahsoka, not far afterwards. We were thinking that maybe Ahsoka will either start or end at Celebration.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to tie in some stuff.
They still got that second season of Bad Batch to drop at some point.
Right.
That sounds like that's been finished a while.
Well, it'll be exciting because I'm loving what we're getting as far as content of stuff, and obviously with Tales of the Jedi, which we all want more already. It's just I called it Star Wars in its purest form, even though it's animated. This is just nice
storytelling.
They should just do a Sifo-Dyas episode.
Hopefully,
a couple episodes that would be filling in the gaps nicely.
Somebody said they could do like a counterpart, like a Sith.
That'd be cool.
Sith, which could do something like that, or
like how did Palpatine first start on the path to becoming a Sith?
You can see baby Palpatine, and then everybody be like, "Oh, he's so cute."
Or we could see, see the tragedy of Darth Plagueis. We can see that come to pass.
That actually would be crazy if they put that into visual form.
I mean, they can at this point. They have access to everything.
Oh yeah.
But
that would break the Star Wars internet for sure. So
yep. I mean, they always try to get him to recite it on stage at cons when he's in a panel, and he just won't do it.
Yeah.
We're also getting a new book called Inquisitor: Rise of the Red Blade. Oh, that's cool, Bryce. And he's saying that January 4th is Bad Batch season 2, and then February 22nd is Mando season 3.
So they're going to have some overlap because what Bad Batch is 16 episodes again.
Which I'm completely okay with. You know, I like the fact that we're we're getting multiple Star Wars projects at the same time. I mean, yeah, it makes it a little challenging for us doing the watch alongs and stuff, but the fact that we're getting more Star Wars content that's new at the same time is pretty awesome.
That timing should
I'll take it through, if there's 16 episodes, I'll take it from January 4th through April 19th.
right. So that'll end after Celebration.
After Celebration.
But will
Mandalorian,
and like right around
assuming that's 8
Celebration?
episodes again, that would be,
Okay.
so the 22nd, that's, let's see, 7.
It'd still be it'd be around the same time, wouldn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about let me see. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I take it if there's 8 episodes, it'll take Mandalorian through April 12th.
Okay, so
With Bad Batch ending a week after that, if it's 16.
So they might do something where they give some audience previews of like the final episodes or something of the season for either of those. Which would be kind of cool, but a little different. And then when there's no word on Ahsoka's start date?
Nothing at all yet.
I would imagine if that's, did they finish filming that?
Yes. Well, they finished principal filming.
Just recently though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last month or so.
Well, I would imagine that would start by the end of April, beginning of May, if they want to keep the ball rolling in terms of another show starting when another one ends.
Very true. You'd want to start it like a week or 2 weeks after, put in a gallery type show if they have it ready. I mean, I think they'd have those in the can.
You'd think so.
And they could drop them in. They're still waiting, or I'm still waiting on the assembled for She-Hulk.
That dropped.
It dropped today.
It dropped today.
Okay.
It was actually very good.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
yeah, they were Thursday.
I watched the first 3 episodes of that series and then I tapped out.
Well, the only one I didn't finish is the same one that I finished the series of, which was Miss Marvel. And I did same thing with Eternals. I couldn't watch the movie and I couldn't really watch the Assembled either. I think at least the Assembled might make me want to watch the movie again, and it just made me not want to watch it. But Ahu, we're about one. Oh yeah, Skeleton Crew next year too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. That might be probably in the fall or something.
Something there was an EW interview with Filoni and Favreau.
Yep, it's on. I saw from D23.
Yeah, and they were talking about how stoked or Favreau was about his Amblin style show, which when you refer to Amblin, you really it's like mid 80s kind of thing.
Right.
That's gonna be a cool vibe if it fits that.
Absolutely. Hey, Catherine, how are you? So we are at the top of the hour, so please make sure that you have your D+ machine all queued up for episode 9 of Andor.
Is it cold?
You guys all queued?
Nobody's listening.
Yep.
Cool.
Nobody's listening. Spoiler alert. Somebody said nobody's listening.
I was like, wait, what was it? Oh yeah, that's the title.
That too.
Yes.
Fits both scenarios.
Yep. So we're gonna start again. I'll start the countdown in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Wow. Retcon that damn logo. I'm gonna say it every time.
And you are watching Disney Plus.
Oh, I just heard somebody's. That sentencing scene bugs me every time.
I'm looking for the carbon copy of the credit card machine.
Yeah, that machine works a little different than what it originally did, but not too much different. So
right.
And that fan with the weird designs for the blocking for blowing the air, it's kind of not very practical.
So last week when you guys did this, did you talk about how the prison is very much referenced THX
Yes. It even gets more that way, more
in
so.
this episode? Yeah, they talked about that as Screen Crush a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they pick and find some good info. This whole relationship is just borderline creepy.
Well, if you watch this week in Star Wars, which came out today, it has an interview with the two of them.
Not either. Okay.
And they said there's Cyril has a borderline stalker mentality.
Oh, big time.
Like he's in love with her.
Right.
Definitely.
One thing, why wasn't the guy who railed it twitching at all when they went and looked at him? It was only like a few seconds. Couldn't he still be getting fried in theory? I don't know. Not that I wanted to see somebody getting electrocuted, but it just seemed like that would make more sense. Bryce isn't listening to me again.
I'm liking the synth like sound that they've announced in the last like couple of episodes. They've gone more
definitely gone a different direction than your standard Star Wars score. There was one scene in an earlier episode that was like a huge drum solo almost. It sounded almost like a rock band drum, which I was like, that's crazy. Very different. Oh, Spencer's off.
Like, yeah, I'm out. This is boring.
Enough of this. He doesn't want to see Bix getting interrogated. I like the parallel that comes up here with some of this that they pointed out in a couple different things that I saw. What's Spencer got? What'd you get us?
Oh, I was just pulling something that I was looking for behind me for later on tonight. Getting my books and everything set up for con tomorrow.
Nice. So this is back to the rudimentary, even though it's like high-tech version. I thought they were going to give her like VR goggles. Spoiler alert.
They said that this was a more technologically sound version of Borgullet.
Oh, right. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. This is the Empire's version, so that'll be more technological, and then the rudimentary version that the rebels have access to is Borgullet. Right. Great bleak location that they're into with the bed in the corner. Weird grate on the window. Dave would appreciate that grate.
Yep. I wanted to post something the other day because Brendan Wayne posted a picture of Snuffy, like I can't. I just can't.
He has a different affinity for that than you do. He worked with him. It's a fellow actor. They have mutual respect.
Are you a fish or are you a thief? Fish are friends, not thieves.
Exactly.
Yeah, this character, they just keep making her. It's like, is she evil enough? No, not yet. We need to add.
Let's push it a little bit farther. Oh, no, yeah. At least she's not the one that does the actual whatever you want to call it. She just gets it set up to happen, gives the orders.
I'm also wondering, from the way this episode goes, what the actual subject of the season finale will actually be. Because if next week's going to be a prison break, or an attempted prison break, I wonder if it's going to focus mostly on that, or if he's going to make his way back to Luthen at some point. Or it'll probably be maybe a cliffhanger for season 2, and she might return here in season 2. She's certainly a great villain.
I mean, I'm thinking that core group that's like on the poster, well, for the most part all returning.
I gotta
Is it bad?
who's on the poster.
Is it bad that I kind of want Cyril to be like shot?
He after Tim bought it, that was the next one I was hoping was going to get something like that. So
right.
We'll see. He may,
that he's barking at the wrong tree for too long, and
yeah,
finally just like Deirdre has unrequited love for him and shoots him just to save face.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah, he's something else. And with his his living situation at home with his mom and his inadequacies and all this, again, we're ticking the boxes.
Yeah, it's like, where is this leading?
I wonder, did Disney pay attention to the scripts of the amount of darkness and illusions that are in these episodes?
Yeah.
Who's a borderline sociopath, so
and she's just really dedicated.
Yeah, I was going to say she's got some. I don't know. I think she's got some issues too.
Oh yeah, she's definitely on the definite psycho there.
So do we all think that they're building pieces of the Death Star?
I don't know. After the revelation about, what the stuff went down later on in this episode, I kind of have a feeling that I think we had talked about it last week, that it could be like busy work that some other team has to take apart.
Yeah, it's the same pieces every other day.
Right. So is this group building these things and they get shipped off to the other group that takes them apart and sends the pieces back, and then they build them again, and just to keep them busy? I would imagine that they're trying to do something. I mean, it would kind of seem like it would be a waste of.
Yeah, because it seems like the Empire would be just fine leaving them in their cells with the threat of being electrocuted if they left the cell and not care about. It would no longer be a management issue, since they clearly don't care if the prisoners injure themselves or die.
Right.
Well, it goes back to also what Andor is saying initially, is that they're not paying attention to them. Like, he was able to walk on property and steal that item. So
they don't. Yeah, Xan told them that.
And then, here in the prison, he's looking around and he's seeing that they really don't care about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all like, fear.
Their numbers are up or whatever they're saying. This is pretty creepy, this whole exchange here.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
It's the VR headset.
Look at the big wide smile that he has. It's so cartoonish.
He takes relishes his job.
And then the last thing, when the Deidre introduced him, he kind of looks at her and he waves.
Yep.
Jeez.
I like
Bix,
writing.
If you don't tell us what's going on with Cassie Andor, Dr. Gorse is going to give you back your old nose.
They've cast a lot of these characters really well. Super creepy guy here. So what happened to the audio engineer that had to layer and adapt and whatever he just said they did to the audio? Did that guy go crazy too, or whatever it does to him? Melt your brain. Spoiler alert.
You know what this also reminds me of? If you've seen the movie Demolition Man, how they had sex in that year because
VR.
they had the VR helmets.
A long time since I've seen
Weird
that
was
movie.
It almost looked like it has a microphone on it. And then
Yeah, kind of like
backwards.
yeah.
That's gonna be the next thing they do on a Black Series.
What? Yeah, Bix torture helmet. The S&M version of Star
Right.
Wars 9. Let's see, they didn't cover her eyes, and like that microphone thing's like up by her head.
Well, I'm glad they took the bees off of the headset.
Yeah,
Okay, this scene right here, what it's happening right now,
with
the cut that is exactly like A New Hope when Leia, the door closed on Leia. When I saw that initially when I first watched it on Wednesday, I'm like, oh my god, that's exactly A New Hope.
her scream versus Leia doesn't really scream.
Right, but it's more like the door.
But yeah, that whole door with the boots walking by and the pan up
and the angle, yeah.
Pan up. It's almost exactly the exact same shot. They've matched or kind of matched a lot of stuff from other things, but that was like literally spot on. I like this getting to see his sort of behind the scenes inner workings, elements of a plan to do something, get something to fail.
He's working on his inner Andy Dufresne escape.
And good luck with that.
Well, considering they're on the raft that's run by Thunderbolt Ross, did anybody else get that? Like when they first saw, they're like, "This did we just see this like in the Avengers or Captain America?" Yeah. It's the raft.
That guy was giving him a weird look before he went in to do his bathroom move there. And so like I was thinking he was not necessarily on his side until he came out right here and they started this exchange. I love how they're breaking it down. Like he touched the rail, this and that. It's a weird place for that to go down though. Right in front of that other opening for the doodads that they're making. Oh no.
Don't lobotomize her.
Huh. Too late. They already liquefied her brain. I wanted her to give her some like defiant answer right there. I don't know if it would have been any better, but homeboy's showing his age. I thought this was pretty hardcore too. With this guy's like eagerness, like I want to hang him.
This would be society if it was run by Elon Musk.
What, the prison room here? The torture room?
Well, also the way they're talking right now, like how people are talking on Twitter again now. I felt so bad for Mamato here. How they just don't care.
Yep.
Their pockets are aligned, and
she's already bankrolling an armed insurgency. So it's like, do you really care if they listen to you anymore anyway, if that's what you're trying to do?
Well, she needs more assistance if she can get it. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Yeah, that's the same guy who's on Xandar in Guardians of the Galaxy. Good call there, Bryce.
The old man?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mentioned that last week or the week before. Yeah.
a cool eyebrow guy who is actually he's actually on the ride of Cosmic Rewind.
Really?
Okay, so as they hear about her cousin, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be interesting, and holy plot twist, Batman, that's coming up.
they sort of alluded to it a little bit previously with the exchange, her and the other girl character,
Right.
lady characters, her cohort. I love their weird rudimentary sign language. Wonder how much of that is like legit.
I don't know. He looks like he's stealing. He looks like he's stealing second.
Making the call.
Yep.
So right there, that I guess it is said to be the moment, which is crazy. Why don't you see any more? Where are the rest? What level are they on? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 or 5.
I think be able to see down a few levels if they needed to. Smeagol's pissed. He wants
Someone
to work.
stole his precious.
Yeah.
Though you're talking about Smeagol, and all I can think about is him singing "What Is Love" in Black Panther
As
Claw.
Flaw, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great reveal here. Be a spoiled rich girl. It's like we got to play the game. It's interesting. She's on the front lines for her sister there.
Yeah.
So he has flavor.
None of it looks very good. Those little compartment things they're in aren't quite equal.
Yeah.
One guy has to climb up a ladder to get anywhere. The other guy has a couple different places to chill. I don't know. Now we need somebody to bring this hallway to Celebration, so you can get your photo op in the cell.
Right.
See, he should tell him here what he's actually, because if he believes nobody's actually listening, he should tell him why he's so confident about this and what he actually did.
Right. You mean things he's done, like he told Luthen,
Yeah.
or what they actually, the actual heist, yeah. Was that location something we've seen them use before? Oh,
I don't believe so.
I don't think so, no.
yeah. Had some elements that seemed reminiscent of other stuff, but I wasn't sure. She's got all her lackeys with backup info. She's definitely a go-getter.
Well, she figures that, Aldani is similar to, it all links up.
Right.
He shaved his beard. Okay, cool. Well, now check your prison records.
Really didn't have a beard. He had some growth.
Right.
I wouldn't call it like a legit beard, though.
Yeah, it's like she's smart enough to think ahead of these types of plans and connect the dots and all of that, but she isn't thinking that, well, how do we know, he isn't arrested for something else somewhere else, just check your voter records. Yeah.
What is the point of all of them going different directions? Wouldn't they have like one side would be working space and the other side would be like living space or something?
He's got 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, he's still scruffy looking nerf herder.
Yep.
On program. It's very Tron-like. Losing it. Miami Vice growth. Yeah, it's just that little bit of scruff. Smeagol's losing it. He'll be Gollum any minute now.
Yep.
Yeah, when he gets back to his cell, he'll see that his his shift numbers will be increased by like 3,000. He's like, no. That'll be his precious.
He loves that cereal. He's down in that shit all the time.
Spelled Syreal. Cereal.
It's his new venture. Cereal. I like the angles that they shoot this weird little space that they're in.
Yeah.
I kind of like his tie, how it's like tucked in like a belt into his
Yeah.
shirt.
That was the his supervisor had it first,
Yeah.
right? And then yeah, it's got that weird kind of, it's got that slot that holds it, and then it goes but like into the vest. It's weird. It's fun how they're introducing things like that. Some things are a little obnoxious, like toilet and AK-47, but you know,
Right.
it's fun to see all the oddball things that they pick up in the background from different eras to use as space objects.
Right.
Well, not space objects per se, but whatever. You know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Doink. Wake up, dude. Busy chatter. I kept waiting for Homeboy to get in, well, spoiler alert, injured on the line.
Right. Like lose a hand or something, or
Something. They get crushed in one way or another, as opposed to what happens to him.
I thought one of the guards was going to come in and like attack him or something for not
for being
faltering on the line.
not being on program or whatever when they were doing the part.
you mean you sort of need like Clancy Brown to show up at the Billy Club like you did in Shawshank?
That's it. I kept waiting for him to get sung about because his name is Olaf, but it's not. It's Olaf. They're gonna build him. He's a snowman.
Captain Palpatine Crunch. The slurping he was doing is trying to drown out his mother nagging him.
It was very deliberate. But it was also the best way to finish that bowl of cereal off. Regardless.
Well, the milk was probably fantastic. His blue milk was probably had like other colors in it. Extra blue, exactly.
I like that they didn't use just like straight up crunch berries. They found a variation of something that they actually look like kind of like planets.
Snozberries.
Yeah, they taste like them.
I still don't see what the attraction was between Mon Mothma and her husband.
Yeah, they seem like they don't necessarily like each other that much.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did at one particular time and
well, yeah, they have a contempt for each other at this point or something. But yeah, like, you know, they got married very young anyways, so they've been together quite some time. Takadana bites. No, gotta get a Takadana quencher at Oga's.
Yep.
Good old arranged marriage. So this location isn't something we've seen ever before.
I think we saw more outside when they first introduced the ISB building, when she's first walking there, like whatever the 4th episode or whatever it is.
I don't know,
But
it kind of has
I don't think we've
gives
seen
me
this.
like a train station kind of vibe in some ways, even though they're not really using it for that. I don't know. It definitely has a cool look to it. And then you got those little mini glass pyramid things, and whatever. I just like how much they've worked the real world stuff into the and digital stuff together. Yeah, Stalker is right.
Yeah. And like conversation. It was an interrogation.
He had a different idea of the whole thing. That was a date.
How dangerous he was, please.
He's been crying. His eyes are all red and weird.
Yeah.
That blue is like intense. It's almost like he's got contacts in.
He probably
Even
thinks
acknowledges
he
that-
probably thinks strippers like him too.
Yeah, he even acknowledged that it's a deranged belief.
Yes. See right there, I was like, uh-oh, he's pushing it.
I still think there's going to be a big payoff to this because they've spent too much time with this guy moping around at home with his mom to just have it go nowhere. I'm like, I don't think she'll beat him. I think he might get her.
I think he might put a blaster into his mouth.
Maybe murder suicide
Yeah.
against her. Yeah, she's not rescinding his or reciprocating. God, I would not have picked his story for going in that direction.
It'd definitely not be a Star Wars episode.
No.
That character that she was just talking to gives me a lot of like animated character kind of feel. He has that whole like skinny, weird look to him. I'm surprised she talks so freely and some at sometimes. I mean, it seemed like they would have, if she was suspected of anything, they would probably be like bugging her or something.
Yeah.
Have probe droids floating around trying to get info on her. But I guess she's not to that point yet. Need to take the Chandrillan Starliner. He's a thug. He's a gangster. He's a loan shark.
Credits will do.
So we never.
Yeah.
She's supposed to have that meeting with some people, like Sly Moore and some other characters were supposed to be there.
Yeah, we were like I thought
She-
a long time ago when they were setting up the dinner scene for that night that they were going to end up intercutting the robbery with the dinner scene and having it be like a tense back and forth. But then I guess the dinner came and went, and
Yeah, it wasn't
like to see
big of
that.
a deal.
And I think we've actually never seen Chandrila in live action, right? I don't think.
No.
Right. Okay. Catherine, that's a familiar name.
Like, how do they spell that? I'm gonna change my name to Catherine.
Kafrene. I'm reading the subtitles.
Yeah.
I like how casually they're just planning. Okay, we'll just murder the pilot and set a trap.
Put the ship out into this traffic lanes and yada yada. Yeah. Very nonchalant.
And he's just pandered the. Oh, let's go.
All right.
But I like him.
Get that done.
Every time they go through a door, I want them to kind of do what Shatner did in Airplane 2. Shh, shh, shh. Yes, add a little Zucker Brothers to Andor to lighten the load a little bit.
Yeah. The last 3 episodes will be that comedic arc. Working that torque wrench.
In the last episode, they're going to read something that's name is DAVE that controls the whole Star Wars. No.
God, with that shot there, I associate what they're building again with a TIE fighter wing with a hull and the assembled thing sitting right next to it.
Right.
But it's probably not. Well, definitely not. It's too small.
I thought initially it was like droid parts, like for the probe droid.
Right.
Yeah. Let's do that. He's not good. I think they would have drawn more attention than it did. Them technically not being on program. I guess everybody's paying attention to the guys in the middle getting their punishment for being last. Because toe up. Not good. So how many people showing up to celebration in orange and white jumpsuits? Huge groups of them.
Oh, they're going to do that whole thing with the hands up walking through the, it.
Yeah. That's going to be the next
like I was saying, they're going to do that thing where they're going to run and then all of a sudden the guard's going to like snap his finger and they're all going to pretend like they're getting electrocuted while still moving forward.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, honestly.
Electro dance.
Yeah. Have 2 lines and have a finish line, see who gets there first.
Remember after Orlando, they recreated the Rogue One last scene in the hallway of
Oh, that was amazing.
Of the
seen that on, reposted many times.
Yeah.
Fun to watch every time.
Oh, I didn't see that. I got.
Oh, it's really good. They did a great job choreographing.
Hallway at the Orange County Convention Center, like parallel to the big halls, had a couple of spots where there was like automatic doors, and they used those automatic doors in such a way that they were able to replicate Vader chasing down the
that's cool,
the troopers, the rebel troopers, and passing on the plans before they get sliced and diced.
Now, I don't know what the limits of Bacta technology are, but I'm prone to believe him that if the guy has a massive stroke, which it looks like he did, that they probably couldn't save him.
Right.
He says he had a massive stroke.
So they're
But
going
then he
to
also said something interesting where he's like, I can't save anyone.
Right. It's like saving's a relative term, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's got 40 days.
No, not anymore. You can give up a little bit of info. He knows that's enough to turn homeboy, though.
Euthanize him.
Well, getting the doctor to be standoffish about the info.
Kevorkian.
He is basically there to assist. Not with healing, with the dying.
I need it back in the trolley.
Sounds like Notman.
Yep.
So they accidentally sent a prisoner who finished his shifts back down to level 2. And rather than just sending him away to leave, they just decided to kill everybody.
Yep.
So
Which doesn't make much sense. It's like, oh yeah, we made a mistake. Get out of here. You know, it's like, oh, now we're gonna kill everybody.
But was it a mistake?
That's what I'm wondering, because it's like if they wanted to kill him, they could just let the others believe that, oh, he left, and not let him go down to 2 and just,
What I would have thought they would do, as opposed to sending him to a different level, if they were keeping him, that's what they're implying, is they're just recycling him within the facility. Because there's like multiples of that same structure. When you see him come in, you could see other ones. So why wouldn't you send them like to an adjacent one?
Yep.
Yeah, like an adjacent facility, so that way they can't see. Otherwise, but even if you did send them somewhere adjacent, they would probably tell the others, "Hey, I already finished my shift, and they just sent me over here." Which is surprising that they're not complaining about that. Which makes me wonder what the deal is, or maybe it was a genuine mistake that they sent him down there, and maybe it started a ruckus because people may have immediately jumped to the conclusion that, oh, so you don't let us go, you just send us down here, and then a riot broke out. And
since they were adding time and stuff to their little clicker anyways, that probably had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So
that was great. That was my favorite ending so far, because it's like you said, it turned homeboy. Kino's in.
Yeah. He's like, all right.
I mean, at that point, once he's 12, it's like, okay. He says 4 words. Something.
So very excited. We have 3 more episodes left of this, which is absolutely fantastic.
3 more.
And we are actually, what's going to be great is when we do the finale on the 23rd, it's going to be the day of the release, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm actually going to try to attempt not to watch it during the day.
Watch it fresh while we get over it.
What do you mean the day of the release?
Because
watching it on a Wednesday instead of a Thursday, because Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Oh, right.
So but yeah, so keep
being a day old or day and a half old by the time we get to it like this. It'll be half a day, whatever.
Yeah. But very excited about that. It's been absolutely a fantastic show. I'm still going to go with the prediction that the surprise is going to be K2 in the finale in some capacity.
It makes sense.
Maybe.
But Kat, what was your thoughts on this episode?
I loved it because the editing is probably the best so far. Last week I commented on the editing as well, because it's great, but this is like, it keeps you like zigzagging back and forth, but it doesn't feel too fast paced. There's no action in this episode, but it doesn't need it. It's just like edge of your seat tension throughout the whole thing. Especially with the amount of times they just keep cutting back to them working on the floor without advancing the plot much. It's like something's going to happen. It's like keeps racketing up the tension until we finally get to this revelation. So
it's also proven that Palpatine's a rat bastard. He's got ultimate control of everything that's going on.
I'm surprised that with this being a prison and Palpatine being so anti-alien, because they're even in the expanded universe, it says most of his crimes are against aliens as opposed to humans, that virtually all the prisoners in this prison are human.
Right.
And again, I don't know if that's a budgeting thing because they're clearly spending all the money on, real sets and real locations. Maybe they didn't have as much left over for that, but I thought that was a kind of interesting point.
I'm loving every aspect of the practical on
Mhm.
this one. Jeff, your thoughts?
It's like you said, it's the practical stuff kind of ups the ante, having amazing set pieces to begin with, and then peppering in the digital elements, makes it that much kind of more, kind of gives you that real world vibe for sure, since it is, mostly real world.
Right.
So I do wish there were more alien species. I mean, even in these scenes, they could have them in the background like they were doing at the dinner party and stuff. But it's just, it's getting crazy. It's going to be really cool to see how it culminates in the next episode and beyond.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Just a couple more updates is that if you're going to be coming to Rhode Island tomorrow, we have a meetup tomorrow night at 9:30 at the Dave and Buster's at the Providence Place Mall. Hope to see you guys there. If not, we'll have live updates throughout the day. See what surprises show up at our meetup tomorrow night. Also, don't forget, we got another episode of the Jedi Archives this coming weekend. And remember that we need one more booked hockey jersey for another printing. So if you're interested, jump on that right now and gear up, because right now it's the 3rd of November. We have 20 days until the announcement of what the Breakfast Club crossover is going to be for April the 6th, 2023 in Canary Wharf, London. Makes you go, Anyway, thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. So from Jeff and Kat, this is Spencer saying, may the force be with you.
Have a good one.
And